Hey everyone, it is Word Wednesday, and I just wanted to share an encouraging word with you. I'm coming out of Isaiah chapter 61, and I'll start in verse 1. And I'm going to read this to you, and I pray that you receive it in your spirit. It says, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon you. For the Lord has anointed you to bring good news to the poor. He has sent you to comfort the brokenhearted and to proclaim the captives will be released and prisoners will be freed. He has sent you to tell those who mourn that the time of the Lord's favor has come, and with it the day of God's anger against your enemies." So get that in your spirit, that not only is God's favor upon you, but his anger against your enemies is also rising up. And when you think of the word enemy, think of anything that's trying to steal, kill, or destroy what God has for you. So it's not necessarily a person, because the enemy works through people. So don't put a face to the fight. Your enemy is any situation that is trying to cause you to abort what God has placed in you. And so God's anger is rising up against that this hour. And it says in verse 3, "To all who mourn in Israel, he will give a crown of beauty for ashes, a joyous blessing instead of mourning, festive praise instead of despair." And that's what I want to share with you briefly today, that God has called, he has anointed, he has appointed you to do all those great things that I just shared. However, there are some of us that are not able to fulfill that because we are walking around defeated. We are walking around in despair. We are walking around grieving with sadness. And God wants me to share with you today that he wants to do an exchange. It's time for an exchange. It is time for you to let go of those things that you have been trying to hold on to. You know, those things that have become familiar to you. You're not even comfortable in it, but you've somehow grown comfortable in your uncomfortableness because you've become familiar with it. You know, when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, the caterpillar understands that there is an exchange that's about to happen. He's about to die so the butterfly can live. He's about to give up his legs because he's about to soar. He can't soar and run at the same time, right? And for some of you, God's called you to soar, but you're still running because your mentality, your mindset, who you're hanging around, what you're holding on to, your level of expectation, all of that stuff keeps you beneath your potential. And God says, I want to exchange my goodness, my beauty, my joy, my blessing for those things that you are holding on to and trying to do in your own power. And so I just want to encourage you today. I'm encouraging myself because as I'm speaking to you, I'm going, wow, there's some things that I'm kind of holding on to as well, you know, kind of trying to make come to pass in my own power. And God says, daughter, son, you don't have to do that because I'm here and I'm ready to make the great exchange. If you just let me, if you just lay at my feet, those things, everything that's hindering you, and take up from me everything that will help you, everything that will cause you to step into the fullness of what I've created you for. If you would just make that great exchange. You know, that great exchange started on the cross 2,000 years ago, and God is still in the exchange business today. He still wants to make that exchange with you. Will you do that? I'm about to do that. When I get off from this video, I'm going to get on my face, and everything that God shows me that comes to mind that I've been trying to do in my own power, that I've been trying to make come to pass, you know, the weariness that I've been experiencing, I'm about to turn all of that over to God. And God, take my mess, take all that mess and give me your rest. That's right. I want his blessing. How about you? So let's make a decision today that we're going to have that, we're going to impart, we're going to take part of that great exchange. His beauty for our ashes, his joy. for our mourning, His rest for our weariness, His strength for our weakness. I pray this blesses and encourages somebody today.